Are you dreaming of the lifestyle that comes with successful trading? Well, it's time to make it a reality. Welcome to the Trading Ascension podcast, where you can discover methods to improve your trading results by focusing on your trading psychology. I'm Jason E., your guide on this path to trading improvement, self-discovery, and self-mastery. Together, we'll explore the personal and spiritual growth journey of profitable day trading. Prepare to unlock the secrets of the trader's mind and align your inner self with your personal success. Listen to this episode if you want to ascend to new levels of trading excellence and personal development. This is Trading Ascension, supporting your journey to mastering trading psychology and personal growth for consistent profits. Let's elevate your trading and your consciousness starting now. Are you tired of the slow grind to your trading success? What if I told you there's a fast track to mastering your trading psychology? You can get on that fast path when you follow the clues that are illuminating that path. During the show, I'm going to reveal some powerful improvement strategies that can radically transform your trading mindset and performance very quickly. I'm talking about data, but also how technology can aid the analysis of data. When someone says success leaves clues, I can tell you 100% that there are clues in the information that you track. The overall benefit of tracking and implementing the wisdom gained from trading data, it isn't just a theory. It's battle tested. It's a technique that has obviously helped traders break through their mental barriers and achieve consistent profits. And now, because we are blessed to be in this technological age, I'm going to talk about this topic of improving trading psychology in a way that you have never heard before. We all know of algorithmic or AI trading, and this conversation doesn't include that. It is not related to that stuff. But today, you're going to learn how AI can fast track your improvement in trading psychology. Now, whether you're a novice trader or a seasoned pro, you can tune your edge with the information from this episode. This episode is going to help you fast track yourself to trading excellence. So I need you to get a pen, get a paper, because the insights I'm about to share with you are game changers. And they may be the game changers you've been waiting for. So are you ready to supercharge your trading psychology? If so, got some good coffee today. If so, in today's episode, we'll have a real conversation about trading psychology and how the clues from our trading log and trading journal can transform us. And this might be my favorite show. It's just beginning, right? I haven't even finished yet, but this might be my favorite show this season. I want to have a real conversation about trading psychology. Now, if we're going to call it that, it must be from the perspective of the mind and our approach to day trading, right? That merger there, that psychology, right? Once you start trading, you start as whoever you are at that moment. And then the goal becomes to become a trader who has accomplished the goals that they have. Now, that goal more specifically is a version of yourself that can consistently act in their own best interests despite distractions. The common hurdles found on that path is a feeling of being lost and a feeling of being stuck. Now, on this path, your tool is a flashlight that illuminates the ground in front of you so you can find the path. That tool, which you're using to navigate this path, is called awareness. Awareness is the flashlight you have on this dark mountain forest trail toward profitable trading. Now, on the ground immediately in front of you, you're using your awareness to find the clues so you can take the correct next steps. Not a step off the cliff, not a step backwards, not a step to the left or the right in a circle, but the next step forward. And so you've probably heard the saying, success leaves clues. And it's true, and as of this conversation, I have 151 podcast episodes where I'm truly trying to focus you on where to find those clues and how to solve the mysteries and the cases with those clues. I took my first live trade and I was freaking out. I was super hyped and I was like, wow, this is good. But then at the same time, I kind of remembered my former days of being an athlete. And I was like, man, I can't reconcile this. I knew I didn't need that amount of energy, right? I'm like, what's all this energy for? I don't need this. I'm sitting in a chair, right? So I quickly realized that managing energy was going to be and at the time I was calling this energy fear, but I knew it was going to be a big factor of day trading. Now, how much of a factor? I didn't know. But I knew that my awareness needed to be on that. And the reason being is because it called for attention, right? It had this heightened energy and I just couldn't ignore that. And it was weird. And here I am trying to do this new venture called day trading. And then I'm over here with so much energy. And I'm like, what? No sports, no kickoffs, no reps, no hurdles. But I'm still feeling hyphy. So I didn't know what to do. And I wasn't like finding a way to use this energy. I'm like, what? I'm not in a parking lot at the let out, no ops, no opportunities. Like where have I had this energy before in my life and why do I have it now? And I'm sitting at a computer and I'm overwhelmed with these emotions, right? Energy in motion. And at the time I labeled the energy fear. And then the more I look back on the event, the more labels I created, right? I've called it a lot of things. I was like, oh, that was the fear of my first trade. That was the anxiety of my first trade. That was the excitement of my first trade. But all we need to understand is that it's energy. And that energy is a clue. Listen, and this is obvious, right? But it's important to realize, right? When I say this energy is a clue, or when I just say that these emotions are energy, right? Obvious, but this needs to be said, because that energy you feel when you trade, whether it's trading well, especially the energy that you feel when you make a mistake, when you hesitate, when you act in haste, it's all a clue toward improving your trading psychology. And it took me a long time to figure out how to decipher this energy, but you'll know today. And if you didn't know, this has a great potential to have a great positive impact on your trading. So let me point out these energies in case, you're not following me here. I want to make this tangible in your mind, or you'll miss the clues, right? You need to reach consistent profitability. So when you're trading, we hear about fear and greed, but this is the energy of fear. It's the energy of greed. When we're new to this endeavor, we know that we can grow in the energy of confidence. We revenge trade with the energy of anger or the energy of lack. The energy of disappointment is a big part of trading. And fear and greed are just the two main culprits, but we're deep divers, right? So we know there's a whole gamut, a whole gang of trading emotions. But when it comes down to it, it's all energy. And this different energy that we have to navigate on this journey. The path is based on who we are energetically when we find trading and the goals we have. And then that correlates to who we need to be energetically to have those goals. And it's different for all of us, right? There's some similarities, but it's different. And again, over 150 episodes, we have tools for navigating this journey. The journey that we call here the personal and spiritual growth journey of profitable day trading. And today's no different. We have some tools. So we understand at times we have the presence of energies while we trade. Again, we can label them what we want, but we have to understand that these events call upon these heightened energies. And there are two things we need to do with these energies and these energy clues while we day trade. We have to allow our body to absorb the energy so we can get acclimated to it. And two, we have to learn from it. So let me expand on one just a bit before we continue to two, which is the show's main topic. When you have energy rising while trading, it can be uncomfortable. It can be overwhelming. You know, I talked about last week how, certain events in trading, I get a shaky hand. That let me know that my body wasn't used to that energy. And that energy that was there at the moment, right, wasn't familiar. So knowing this energy, right, and us just holding the space that the energy isn't bad just because it's unfamiliar is going to help us move forward faster. So just contemplate this. Ponder on this because it will help your relationship with yourself. What if the energy you felt in certain situations as you're trading was the normal energy level for the higher version of you? But at the time, your current vessel, it couldn't run at that level, right? It couldn't handle the energy. So that extra energy, it caused an issue, right? What you could handle, and then the energy that was being released and dissipated, right? Like I said, as it leaked out of me, my hand would shake, right? I fought to keep my chest from tightening at certain times with energy that was coming through while I was trading. The energy you get is the same energy that, you try to avoid. And all of that is a gift. Now, to absorb it, we need to do two things. Not label it. Now, you can give it a name, right? But not labeling it and giving it that typical, energy name, fear, greed, anxiety, etc. The interaction with energy is a big enough deal that we don't need to handle that energy with the baggage of those labels, right? So doing this makes it so it's okay to have the energy there, and we can focus on what clues are going to be left behind from that energy versus how do I overcome this fear? How do I eliminate, this emotion, right? So the right perspective, because these aren't enemies. So no labels. And next, you need to breathe that energy into yourself. I've talked a lot, at least over the last couple weeks, about brain-heart coherence. And this is breathing as a tool. And this is a breathing pattern that automatically tells your nervous system that you are safe. Now, while the body is feeling safe, that new energy gift is more easily accepted, right? It's not in a panic fought off. And I'm not sure in general, traders understand this, but you need to know that the heightened moments of energy are related to the change that we need to undergo. Now, we all know I'm feeling this way, this energy, that we know there's a difference, right? But navigating that path and accepting that difference is a nuance that we have to understand, because we imagine how we feel rich, wealthy, independent, whatever your goal is, but we lack awareness of the path that changes you from one version of you to another version of you. And it's a very detailed process always going on in the human life, whether we're aware of it or not. And when it comes to making that change as a day trader and becoming the person that already has the results that you're seeking now, we empower our trading growth and we empower our overall life growth by embracing that path. Trading should have a matter-of-fact, neutral feeling to it because that's the energy input that best supports the output of desired results in trading. Confidence in your execution and a strong emotional and spiritual and action-based place of being able to act in your own best interest. So to sum that up, we need to apply two strategies to energy that is there while we're trading. Again, no matter what we call it, fear, greed, whatever, first is acclimation, so the energy vibration isn't overwhelming. Tools to do that are to not label that energy and to use breathing techniques like a simple HRV breathing technique. And maybe if I remember, I'll put a link in the description of where I use the brain heart coherence breathing. If you do go there, leave it in the comment. Let him know that Trading Ascension sent you. Trading Ascension sent you there. That'd be awesome. So I'll put a link in a breathing technique there to help you with acclimating to energy. So this brings us to the second approach we take towards this energy. And again, the goal of improving trading psychology overall. And that comes from what we learn from the energy, right? Because that energy, again, it's a clue to help our path. And you might say, well, what's the path? So let's talk about that, because I often, I often mention the success generator training system, right? And in that, I talk about the 3 trader killing monsters. And if we put those in the form of energy, that's the energy of lost, the energy of stuck, and the energy of being alone and feeling alone. Now, but I believe all successful traders must overcome at least the first 2, right? The third alone is a sometimes thing. Sometimes it's needed. Sometimes we have to lock in and recluse and focus on things. And then it's also a personality thing, right? Some people aren't just other people, but there are very specific times on the journey where we do need community. But the other 2, lost and stuck, can only be overcome with what we are speaking about today. And they can't be avoided. So I took my first trade, right? This is 2020. And I was overwhelmed with energy. And I said, okay, I don't know what to do with this energy. I'm lost. I had no clue what direction to move into. If I wanted, there was action to take, but I wanted to take deliberate action to improve. I could just take action, but what is going to actually have an impact? What should I be focused on as a strategic input so that the output and the outcome of my day trading is reaching my goals? And I realized within myself, but also I conducted tons of research on the industry and on the players in the industry. And it was easy to see that the first hurdle that we all have to face is being lost. And I don't want you to be intimidated, because all hero journeys have a lost stage, a wandering in the desert story, a valley of death scene. So I started looking for clues. I'm lost. Where do I go to improve my trading psychology? How can I make myself show up in a way to take action in my best interest when I trade? What direction should I move into? And I knew there was a saying of success leaves clues. So I said, okay, let me seek successful traders. Matter of fact, let me start a podcast. Let me talk to some folks. Let me go to events around the state. Let me gorge on trading content. See if I can find these secrets. But I kind of had the wrong approach to that saying. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But I found out I was, feeling lost on the trading journey. And I felt that I was missing 2 things. Things I needed to be a successful trader. I needed to feel a certain way, and I needed to take action from that state and from that feeling. So a trader lacking those 2 things will not be able to start their trading week with any worthy, important goals, right? If you don't have the overarching how you should feel while you're trading and what exact actions you need to take while you're feeling that way, it's kind of hard to navigate the path, right? You got to fix the vehicle first before you start thinking about where it's going. So I looked at traders who I believed, whoa, almost knocked the microphone on myself. So I looked at traders. Give me a sec, let me put this back flat. Yep, sorry about that. So I was looking at traders who I believe to be profitable. And I saw that they all felt a certain way about trading and they took certain actions. Now, it wasn't all the same, right? These are different traders, but it was a loud energy from what I could perceive. And I said, okay, to help not be lost as a trader, I need to feel a certain way, act a certain way. But the path to getting there goes through one thing, and that's data. So I needed worthy data. I needed worthy data as the foundation to my changes. And worthy data, meaningful data, is data that is related to, I'll say that, a trading system. And when you have a trading system, it brings the scientific method into your business. So what does that mean? It means that you have some supposed to do's, right? Hypothesis. And then by logging the results, you have the what happened, the outcome of that, experiment, if you will. So you feel lost, you get the data and the energy clues, and you use those to get, your direction and to get unstuck. Because stuck is when you know what direction of the goal to move into, but you're not sure on how to do that. You're not sure of the next step. And a lot of times we're not sure of how to change our behavior and our state of being so it matches the goal. It's easy to say, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But how do you not show up the same way in the same situation tomorrow as you did today? When that same stimulus makes you feel a certain way, how tomorrow will you not do what you did today? Without awareness, it's not possible to take a different action. So the foundation, of this show of not being lost and stuck, because we have a trading success generator system, and, it's important to not be alone, right? And if you feel alone, I'm here with you. Discord is open. My email is open. But this show is more about the clues that energy leaves to get us unstuck. So let's talk about what it takes to get to that point, right? So a quick reference is, I want to, let me go down this path real quick. I wanted to skip over this, but it's important. I want to reference this because I don't want to leave anything out. I'm not holding back anything. It just kind of paints a full picture. So quickly, let's talk about a trading system. It's the only way to get worthy data, right? It's not something I invented. It's just something that I've organized and I communicate to you all, because worthy data eliminates being lost. So a trading system starts with a trading strategy, right? And you create a trading plan. And then you have a trading system. So trading strategy, trading plan gives you a weekly plan, ultimately a trading system. So this is a written business plan for your trading. It includes a trading strategy. Trading strategy is the written details of managing a trade. And this is the on the ground execution stuff. So a minimum in that written strategy must be a few things. It's going to let you know what must occur in the market to start a trade. That's one. And then also with the strategy, you have your in-trade management, right? And this is how you're going to trail price action, add on contracts, pull off quantities, whatever. The last written piece of is the exit plan of the strategy. What must happen for you to exit the market? Now, honestly, if you're lacking in the area or you're hesitant to write these things down, whatever it is, if you have a block towards setting this up, then you have a block towards your future success. Now, I'm not saying that to clown or down you, but call you out, right? If you understand this, it's not okay. And it's the long path towards success when you don't have a solid system, a foundation to build data off of. Now, with the trading strategy, you can add a few things to make it a trading plan. You're going to need risk management. So you have written rules to protect your capital. And then you have market context, which is used to tweak the strategy. And basically, market context is experience. There is no shortcut for experience. And we talk about the golden zone, where the only place where you can learn in trading. Everything else supports learning. But in that golden zone, when you're taking a live trade, that's where you learn. And then from there, you can see how the market really reacts to your trade. And then how the market, affects your trading. So that experience is going to help you hone your strategy. For example, like maybe, you see a great entry, but it's minutes before the open, right? So it may not work out, right? But then you had to make that mistake before. Now you have that experience, that market context, and you've made that adjustment. There are going to be hundreds or more, tens to hundreds of situations where you enhance your strategy based on market context and experience. So when you're a new trader, you only have that experience that has been taught to you, but you're going to gain it. You're going to gain it by taking the same amount of action or the same type of action repetitively, so you can hone in on your entry, your in-trade management, and your exit. So having that foundation, that trading strategy turned into a trading plan, is going to enhance your data results. Why? Well, because you now have these key factors and you can focus around them. So one key factor is, how did you adhere to that written plan? If the plan says enter here, when this happens, either you did it or you didn't. And you're going to be focusing on closing that gap to where you're saying your due match and you're acting in your own best interest. Now then, if you did not, or if you did, follow that written plan, what was the outcome? How did the market react to that action? Did it reward you or punish you? Now, on the top of this data, you also need a trading journal. And the trading journal is going to add the energy of the situation to your data, to your awareness. So let's talk about a trading journal. Now, in the journal, you can write things like your energy/emotions, getting into the trading day, routine information. Did you eat breakfast? Did you rest? The factors that led to your state of being before trading, right? Then you can write your state of being before, during, and after a trade. How did you feel? What did you think about? How did you react? That type of stuff, right? Or anything you think is important. More is usually better. I'll circle back to some things you can write down. Data eliminates being lost because the flaws in your data point to the next solution that is needed, right? So you're like, oh, there's ambiguity. Let's go get it. And so you say, I'm not lost, because you have data. You know what's missing. And that's when you can say, oh, dang, now I'm stuck. And being stuck is a better problem than being lost, right? Because now you have a direction to move in. You know it's toward feeling a certain way and acting a certain way. And the combination of those two things will lead to your trading success. But then day after day, you do the similar things that aren't in your own best interest, right? You're stuck. I take trades not written in my plan. Mismanaging risk. You said yesterday that you're not going to do that thing again. And then you did it again today. So how do you use the data to change your behavior? Because you might say, I'm serious enough, I'm professional enough, I'm mature enough to say, okay, let's track this stuff, right? So you're starting to track. That's a level of maturity. If you're doing that, congratulations. And then you're saying, okay, if I don't track this, I can't improve. And, that's saying that if you don't track it, you can't improve it. That goes for life, not just trading. right? So let's explore that path, because really it's about the slight edge. It's about putting small pieces of sand, if you read that book, on the scale every day until it outweighs the elephants that are in your life. The trading journey is about taking these small steps in the same direction so that over time you've traveled quite some way, not in a circle, not backwards. And ambiguity blocks that path, and it also knocks folks off that path. So the solution and what guides us seriously focused traders toward our goals and forward is awareness. This awareness is required in so many areas of the trading journey that it's actually easier for me to just say the fight against ambiguity, right? Because then the fight against ambiguity, when I say it that way, you can find the next step on the path with ease because it stands out as this dark, uncharted step forward, right? So I took a trade that broke my rule 5 times last week. How do I fix that when there's ambiguity and uncertainty? And I say, oh, there's ambiguity, there's uncertainty. That's the way to go. Let's go. So like I said, the foundation of improvement is data and energy clues. And most importantly, data, right? Because without data, energy would force us into emotional decisions. And more times than not, the energy that's not data backed causes trading adjustments that are misaligned. So we need both. The energy might say, oh, I just need to win more. Then the data says, well, to win more, we need better risk management per trade. The emotion might say, oh, I need to make more money, right? I need a higher win percentage. But then the facts and the data say, well, why don't we adjust this initial profit target? So just examples, but what I'm saying is that the data gives us an exact direction to move into, not some loose outcome goal, right? And that's how you know traders are on the wrong path, is when they have these outcome goals. I want to win more. I want my winning percentage to be higher, right? And not input goals. So that's what energy can do if we don't merge it with data. So we need the energy awareness. We need the data. We need both of these things. And what do they do for us? Well, data gives us a new direction and action steps to take forward. And awareness fights ambiguity, but more importantly, it gives real-time access to those newly found options. Awareness gives us real-time access to newly found options. It gives us a path by holding on to awareness to move forward in a different way than how we acted in the past. When we're aware, we increase the potential of choices in a given moment. Now, to understand this and how the mind works with efficiency to open and close these paths, let's just think about simple energy scenarios. Let's say you're pissed. Whatever made you mad last, right? Just think about it. Don't go into that energy, but just think about it. Now, at that moment of energy, of anger, you know that your potential actions were filtered. The needed thoughts came from the things that were forefront of the mind. Now, thoughts that were not tied to that energy, they went to the back of the mind. If you're fuming at another person, right? The thought of, I love you, you're awesome, I'm so grateful, right? I'm so grateful you almost killed me by cutting me off and driving like a jerk. Instead of using your signal, right? Those thoughts aren't there. If you are captivated by, an animal or a cute little baby on the tip of your tongue, aren't the same words and thoughts as if you're in a road rage situation. Have you ever seen a person that couldn't curse right? Something happens, maybe they get cut off, like, beep, beep, oh, you baby, mother Jesus, mother sucker, tarnations, right? And you're like, that's weird. But it's still in that same energy realm. You never see someone like, oh, you cut me off, blessings to you. Happy holidays, mother. Beep, right? So awareness gives us more options in the moment than the energy alone gives us, because energy is going to narrow the path of options based on that frequency. Bad analogy, but hopefully that makes sense, because the same mistake over and over, the same trading issues again and again, means a couple of things. It means either we don't have data, right? We haven't got the maturity to log things, or we don't have the awareness to combine that data, which means we're stuck. And we're stuck because we don't have the option to change who we are to a more empowered, better acting version of that situation, a version of ourselves in that situation. So trading psychology is about molding the energy that you perceive. Having data and awareness is going to help us get two things that we need. And those two things, again, are to feel a certain way and to act a certain way. And that act a certain way is in your own best interest. And this is a very personal journey, right? It happens within you. The changes we need to make must have awareness with them. Or what was in that void, the old changes, the old habits, it's the easy route. There's no reason not to take that route. So this means that the energy at the moment can't be dormant. We have to have some energy in order to take new actions. When we take action that is in our own best interest, we have to have that level of alertness to do so. And because no one was born a trader, right? We all must learn and we all must transform into the version of ourselves that's getting our trading results. So I have a few things to share that I think will help with your awareness. It's helping you understand what exactly you are looking for within your data and then what to do with it. So let's talk about data as we near on the powerful action steps that I promised. First off, what is data, right? Data is basically a journal and the logging of your trading actions. It's the input and outcome of your trading process. So you have a written plan, right? We talked about that. You follow that plan to the best of your ability and you log that process and the outcome of that process and what came from the market. So simultaneously, while you're logging that trading data, right, the numbers of it, simultaneously, you're writing in a trading journal the inner and outer environmental situation that is occurring during that process. So let me give you some suggestions if you're a novice, as far as like things you might want to log for data. So do understand before I say this, my data capturing methods have changed so many times. Just how I use the data, what's important in the data, but I'm still getting all the same data. It's just my focus within the data has changed a little bit. So I do want to say that, but it's going to change for your journey too, but as a starting point. So let's just say it like that. You need the details here. So it's important because without the data, you won't be able to grow quickly. So before trading, you want to write how you feel in general, right? So this is like the journal before you start your session. Write the goal for the day and write about your general routine before the trading, right? So whatever your routine is in the morning or whenever you trade, if you do 5 things, write that down. Oh yeah, I did eat breakfast today. I did drink the water I said. I did exercise. I didn't do the exercise. I didn't eat breakfast. I overslept. Whatever it is, right? Then write about any heightened emotional energy that you have. Okay. Then you're ready to take your trades, right? So you're taking your trades, and then after the trade, you get your trade data. And for me, I like to get a picture now. And then I pair that picture with the platform performance data. And it gives me what I need at the end of the week, right? Now, when I needed patience, I would log the trades. And I still do from time to time, but I would have an Excel sheet that I was logging this in, and I would check on the sheet. So I'll just say everything. I would put the entry price, the exit price, the price, monetarily, the P&L. And then I had check marks to judge my rule adherence, right? So I'd have my 5 rules written down, check mark, did this, did that, no check mark, didn't do this. And that helped me with patience, between trades and also accuracy of logging. Once I was able to snap these quick screenshots, then the data kind of changed for me, right? Because these are things, I just didn't have the skills to do it, right? I couldn't get to it fast enough. I was worried about getting in the market. So I enhanced it by taking these pictures. so I can focus on other things. Now, it's not only about rule adherence, right? Because there are other things that we want, and that's the things that are in the journal. So maybe the trade didn't get, maybe it got sort of rangy, and I fought the emotion not to move my targets and my stop loss, right? Basically, I'm telling you, whatever the emotional story is about that trade, you want to write that. I write it on a sticky note, then I put the sticky note, this is virtual, on the screen, so it's in the screenshot. So I have every single thing I have in a picture. So it's all together. Now, I suggest a journal initially because of the relationship method, right? Writing this down, our relationship method means that our growth as a trader can be cultivated when we focus on building intimacy with our process, right? So after every trade, writing down my rules, how I did, it really hammered in the process so I can embody it. But it's a little bit different now, like I said. But initially, you probably want to write in a journal, right? With your hands. Lost art. But virtually is okay, especially since we're going to input this data into an AI system, right? So this newly found way of doing it kind of changes how I do the data because I can't get them off the sticky note. So now I'm saving the sticky note. So whatever you do, I'm just trying to suggest the data that we need. The biggest thing is don't leave data in your mind. Log it. You'd be amazed how it can become more inaccurate when it's just chilling in your imagination for long periods of time. So get it down quick and accurately, right? So you have this data about what happened before the market, what's going on in the trade, not only just the data, the entry, the exit, right? Did you follow the rules that you had, but also how you felt while following those rules? And then after the trade, after the session, you're doing similar things. How are you feeling? How is it going? So what are you looking for, right? You got the end of the week, you got this journal, you got all this data. And, one of the biggest things you're looking for is non-adherence to the plan. The number of times it occurred per incident, right? I broke rule number 2 X amount of times this week, right? So you're looking for the most frequent transgressions on your written actions. I like to use a scorecard. So let's say you have a strategy that has 5 entry rules, one rule that you follow the trail, and then one rule, let's say, for your exit. So let's say that's 7 rules, and that you're going to make that 7 points for the week. Every trade has 7 potential points to make it a perfect trade. So I'll go through the week. I'll grade every single trade that week, 0 to 7 points. So that produces, per trade information, but it also produces an overall weekly score, right? So let's say I have 5 trades that week, all for 7 points. So that would be 35 total points that week, right? But in actuality, because of breaking rules, I only had 16 points, right? So my weekly score, that's based on a percentage, around 50%, whatever the math is on that, right? A little lower than 50%, seems like. So I have this information. I can reduce a score from it. And then I can look at the rules and see what was broken and kind of rank it, right? From the most egregious to the less likely, right? So this shows me the rule that I had the most trouble following. And the most egregious rule will now be the focus for next week's goals, because I'm trying to eliminate one problem at a time. I knew that back in 2020, right? And it was late that year when I figured this out, that I can't just gloss over these issues, and I can't work on multiple things. So I need to focus on one problem, eliminate it, and move on to the next problem, right? That way these problems aren't coming back. They're not zombieing on me. However much time I need to eliminate this is how much time I'm going to spend eliminating this. So it's dead. It won't zombie. Now, when you're looking at this data, you can find first domino solutions, meaning that, okay, I broke this rule 4 times this week. I broke this rule 3 times this week. What solutions can I implement that will solve both of these? So you can take that approach as well. but we're only working on one thing, implementing one thing as a new habit, as a new belief to take us into the next week. So we're seeking to solve that run problem, make ourselves clear of it, clear of the ambiguity of what's causing that issue. So we're looking at when that trade occurred, right? So then at the same time as we're analyzing data, we're checking the journal to spot any clear habits or actions associated with breaking that rule. Maybe I see that I wrote, I'm starting to get mentally tired before this trade. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a clue. Maybe it happened on a day when I had an argument. Look for the energy state that is related to the action. Then look for, the time you reported heightened emotions and see if there's any relationship there. And this gives you a simple path forward, right? Because we know the goal on the emotional side. We know the action goal because we have a plan. And we're just looking for the hurdle that's in front of that. The very next thing that is stopping us from reaching that. And we have to solve that thing, right? So I have this, I didn't follow my EMA rule. I was getting in, the market too early, too late, whatever. And I said, oh, I was feeling this way a lot this week. Now I know there's goals on both of those. I'm not just going to gloss over what happened this week. I'm going to work on what happened this week so I can move forward without a doubt. Data-backed change, allowing me to be better energetically while attempting to change my behavior. So let me tell you how AI, take a quick drink here. I want to tell you how AI helped me improve quickly, first on the data front, and then for trading psychology. And I'm amazed, man. Share this episode because I don't think there's anything like this out here. I don't think the conversations we're having on this platform or anywhere else in the industry, but today's episode, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a boomer. People have been doing this for a long time, but this is a game changer. So depending on how you log, this can take some time, right? So, but this is what I want you to do. These are the support steps. This is how you use AI to gain confidence in your edge and in your trading strategy. Then we'll talk about psychology. So sometimes we just need a big picture view of what is working in our day trading, and we need it in a way that doesn't involve emotions. So on a Google Sheet, right? Google Sheets are like Excels. I wrote across the header all my entry rules. And then on each row, I listed the trades. Now, it took me about 3 hours to log 50 trades, right? So depending on where your data is, and I was getting a lot of this data from pictures and written in other places. So I just combined it all on one Google Sheet, right? It took time, but hey, we invest in ourselves, right? We invest in our trading. So I had that header of rules. So like I have the trade one, first column might say gear alignment, yes or no. Ground factor, next column, yes or no. C or D column at this point, moving average factor, yes or no. Quant factor, and then it was a number, like 1 through whatever. Range blocks, a number. ES limits, yes or no, right? So just an example, I had these columns and I logged the trades in here, and about, 50 trades, it takes me a few hours, right? 3 hours. It'll get faster because I'm logging now based on this. But, depending on how you got it, you want to get this in an Excel sheet or a Google sheet. Then in the last column, which was for me was column K, I put win or loss, and this was the outcome for the trade. Now it was column K for me, depending on, how many rules you have, how many guidelines you have for a trade. It might not be column K for you, but column K is important. So just keep that in mind, right? And you can put win or loss in the first column. Doesn't matter, but you do have to have that. Again, I just wanted a bigger perspective on my system. I had been working on adherence to my rules, my behavior, my state of being for so long that I needed to see if my actual strategy was still working, right? I'd got it in the woods. I wanted to see the whole forest. So I loaded the sheet into an AI tool, a couple of them really. I used ChatGTP. I also used Perplexity. Now, Perplexity was better for this. I put the data in this Excel sheet with this prompt. I said, use the provided trade data sheet analyze the factors that contribute to winning outcomes in column K, present these factors in order of importance, then provide an analysis of the data and ranking the column factors that correlate with winning trades. So let me read this prompt again. I put the data into Perplexity and I said, use the provided trade data sheet. Analyze the factors that contribute to winning outcomes in column K. Present these factors in order of importance, then provide an analysis of the data and a ranking column of factors. And rank the column of factors that correlate to winning trades. So two things, one, I was blown away with the results. I tried AI trading, didn't like it, but this AI data support, oh my God, game changer, right? So two, it told me exactly what I did, right? So I took the data from 2021 and let me see. I'll explain that in a second. I'll go through that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So I was blown away and I felt more confident afterwards because the data was telling me exactly what I was doing was correct. Now, if it didn't even, confirm what I was doing, then I would have adjustments to make, right? So either way, it's all good. But I just felt more confident because, I swim in data, so there's no way I can really get lost. But I know for some people, sometimes we're working on so many factors that doing something like this can really let you know what's working in your strategy, what's not. And it's really helpful. Like for me, I don't think I needed to change anything because I got a strategy that worked and I just needed to work for me. If you're building from ground zero, if you're enhancing and changing your strategy still, which we're all doing to a certain extent, then you may get some different types of information. But either way, it's going to be helpful for you. So without going into too much detail, this is what it created for me. The first section was an analysis of winning factors, right? And it had three parts. It had the most important, moderately important, and then it had less important. So in the most important section, it was saying things like gear alignment, right? Which is one of my entry factors. It said having all four gear positions aligned as yes is strongly correlated with winning trades, right? So this is the top of the list. That by far is the most important thing in my trading when it comes to producing winners. Then it said trades with full gear alignment have a higher success rate compared to those with partial or no alignment. Good information. Now in the moderate section, right? These are things that are moderately important. It said quant factor, which again, another one of my entry rules. It said trades with yes in this column have a moderate correlation with outcomes. While important, it appears they're less critical than the top three factors, right? And again, I'm kind of skipping through data, but the top three factors there. And then let me give you one from the less important factor, right? It said ES limit, which is again, one of my entry rules. There doesn't seem to be a strong correlation between the ES limit factor and winning trades. Both yes and no values appear in winning and losing trades with similar frequency. Now I gave, one example from each section, but these sections have like 7 bullet points, each of them. It goes deep. Could you benefit from that kind of in-depth look at your trading? And then the second part, it ranked my rules. And this allowed me to see in my data, like, wow, this lowest factor is not really helping me. Maybe I can skip over. It's not helping me skip over or find better losing trades. So, I didn't want to change it immediately, right? But I knew that it wasn't helping me greatly as much as I thought it was, right? So I'm looking at that currently as I am, getting more data. So after this, I had my trading week and, I just felt amazing, right? Because I had this confirmation that what was working, right? And it didn't need tweaking, right? So it was a confidence builder. And again, that prompt was use the provided data sheet, analyze the factors that contribute to winning outcomes in that column, whatever your winning column is, present these factors in order of importance, provide an analysis of the data and rank the column factors that correlate with winning trades. So you can create any prompts you want. And I'm not saying this is the best one, but it got me what I needed. So tweak it as needed. Now I have something just as exciting to tell you. They say that, AI can help with analyzing your trading psychology. To me, sounds like a new concept, but it can provide feedback just as powerful as the data feedback. So this is now part of my business. And once I get more systematic with it, I'll add it to the success generator system in some way, right? Because everything within the success generator system has a long track record. So it takes time to add or remove pieces so the integrity and the worth is maintained, because I want that to always work no matter where we're at on our journey. But this is exciting, right? So I wanted to share it with you, so y'all heard it here first, right? I think you can let me know. Also, if you want help implementing this, understanding this, email me, let me know, because this is exciting stuff. So this is what I did. I took a week of journal entries, right? Maybe a couple weeks. I went from, and I back tested this because I wanted to see what actually happened versus what AI would have said to do. So January 3rd, 2021 until January 14th, 2021. And again, the reason I did it was to see what actually happened versus, what potentially I could have said. Now, at that time, I had this little black journal, right? So I needed to get it digital. So basically, I went into Google Drive, opened up a worksheet, and I did the talk to writing. And so I just read the journal from those days, the 3rd to the 14th, got it all digital, right? Edited it for the words I couldn't understand and things like that, got it all polished up. And then I took it back to Perplexity. And this is the prompt I used. I said, can you read these journal entries? I probably didn't need to tell it to read it, but this is the prompt I used. Can you read these journal entries and provide insight to my trading psychology that can help me improve, look for patterns, areas of weakness, and provide tips to help me improve my trading? So it responded with this message. It said, based on journal entries provided, I can offer some insights into your trading psychology and provide suggestions for improvement. Here's an analysis of patterns, areas of weaknesses, and tips to help you enhance your trading performance. Friends, listen, almost everything it said have been things that I've implemented from 2021 to 2024. And I guess it's almost 2025. The question is, could I, looking back, could I have expedited the path by having this data 3-4 years ago? I think I could. So I'm currently analyzing the current data from my journal to see what, future steps are provided. But let me share what it said, right? Because I wanted to really just kind of back test this. And again, this is my journal from 2021 entries, and I won't read the long entries, but here are the results. So I'll be transparent with sharing this for you, with you. A little embarrassing, but this is what it said. It said patterns observed, first column, positive aspects. You demonstrate self-awareness and reflection on your trading decisions. You often follow your rules and show discipline in stopping after reaching your daily goal. You practice patience and work on improving it. You use meditation and affirmations to support your trading mindset. Next area, areas of concern. Inconsistent trading hours and preparation. And it has in parentheses, sometimes waking up late. Next, emotional trading, especially after losses. Tendency to overtrade or continue trading after reaching your daily goal. These are all in the areas of concern. Difficulty of maintaining focus during distractions. Example, school starting for your son. And then it has the next area, areas of weakness. Number 1, emotional control. You sometimes let losses affect your subsequent trading decisions, leading to overtrading or taking hasty trades to recover losses. 2, inconsistent routine. Your trading schedule seems to vary, which can impact your preparation and focus. 3, distraction management. External factors like school and personal matters sometimes interfere with your trading focus. Risk management. There are inconsistencies where you continue trading after reaching your daily goal or significant losses. And then this is the last area I'll share with you all. It's tips for improvement. Number 1, establish a consistent routine, right? And then it goes into detail how to do that. I won't read that. 2, enhanced emotional resilience. And it talks about what I can do to help with that ritual. 3, strengthen risk management, right? Gives me some a sentence there on what to do, a couple sentences actually. 4, improve focus and concentration. Game plan on how to do that exactly. Action steps. Number 5 said enhance trade planning. Gives me details there. 6, continuous education, right? Where it says exactly what to do there. Now, all 6 of those are things that from the data analyzing myself, I had to implement. And then at the end, it closed with this statement. It said, remember, consistent improvement in trading psychology is a gradual process. Stay patient with yourself and focused on making small, sustainable changes to your routine and mindset. Your self-awareness and commitment to improvement are valuable assets on your trading journey. Friends, everything mentioned is part of my business now. But it wasn't on, January 15th, the next week after these entries. Now, what if, again, just hypothetical, what if all these years I've been grinding at creating a success generator system to help me and my trading friends and you all in this community? What if it could have happened faster? Now, hindsight's 2020, and honestly, I don't know, if I had even heard of these AI tools in 2021 personally. Right? I don't want to change the path. My journey has been so wonderful for me in my life, and I enjoy the journey. That's why we talk about the journey on this show, right? But what I'm saying is that what if the next hurdle we face and the awareness and data combined solutions that we need can be aided with AI? Well, I think that's true. And for a community like this one, that is focused on personal and spiritual growth and the journey of profitable day trading, this is a game changer, an incredible tool in the right hands. And I'm sharing it with you because I think you have the right hands. So we've talked about success leaving clues. And when we look at these clues from our data and our journal, we can assume that it is leading us to success. That statement just doesn't mean look at successful people for clues. It means success itself leaves a trail to find it. Success itself leaves clues. And when we have the clues and the next steps to take, and we have the awareness in the moment and the energy to open up that path and take the action on that change, we're in a great place. If these factors, aren't there, the chance of doing what is routine and what is normal from the past, it's too, daunting to overcome. But change can happen for you. So embrace the heightened emotions that you feel while trading. Log them, write them, accept them, acclimate them into your body so your vibration can handle them with ease. And stay focused, my friends. Here's to being the hero of your story. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Trading Ascension Podcast. I hope you found valuable insights to help you on your day trading journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support by subscribing and leaving reviews helps me reach more traders like you and continue to provide this valuable content. Don't forget to head over to the tradingascension.com website for free resources, more tips, and exclusive content. If you can't wait till the next show, check out some of the previous episodes. They're great. But do join me on the next episode. And until then, keep ascending, stay mindful, and remember, your journey to mastering trading psychology for consistent profits starts with your willingness to embrace personal growth.